Hi guys, today we will talk with Gabriela and she tried to tell us about her culture in Romania. Gabriela, can you tell me about your culture a little bit, if it's close to Russia? What do you think?
I've been several times in Moscow and in St. Petersburg, and I felt myself like at home. And I really believe that our cultures are very close one with the other. And there are at least 3 points which I discover they are the same. One of them is that we prize relationships and contacts and family and union, being together and spend time together and being there for the others. The second is the orientation to performance. I think this is from our former time, before 89, when performance was the only possibility to get a good job and a good paid job. And the third is obedience. A way to, or let's say not obedience, but politeness. The way we are polite and try to please the other and be in contact with the others, praising what they have and what they do. So these are in terms of positive psychotherapy, if this was your question.
Yeah, it's the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And can you tell me about key traditions of the family and social life? And maybe can you tell me about key conflict in your country? A lot of people, I don't know, maybe have some similar positions. Do you see your practice? I don't know.
Actually, for my generation, I'm around 50. For my generation, traditions are still here and we try to follow them. Tradition like, I don't know, Christmas Eve, Easter Eve, the way we learn from our parents to meet each other at home, to cook for the family, to sing Christmas songs or to paint eggs.
Paint
also,
eggs?
Paint eggs, yeah, for the Easter Eve.
Ah, I see.
The red eggs. And we do this together with families and friends and stay together. Also the tradition with the weddings and funerals, we try to follow them. For the new generation, they started to change the tradition. They prefer, for example, for Christmas or for Easter Eve to travel, to go in another country, to use these moments as a holiday, not as a traditional holiday, staying at home with family. They don't like the idea of having weddings, or if they have a wedding only with the friends, like a party. Yeah. Regarding funerals, I think it is still there, the tradition to meet each other.
New generation, do you know something about them, or I don't know, nothing, just about you?
About my generation?
New generation, I mean, I know, do you work with young people, what they do, what they think about tradition, what they do with them, or it depends, I don't know.
I think the distance between parents and adolescents and young people become higher and higher, and they have the possibility after university to be on their own feet and to leave the family very quickly. They are not dependent on their family anymore, and because of this, when they escape from the family, they try to follow their own objectives and their own way of living. And a lot of them are, how to say, they embrace freedom, thinking that tradition is not important, but finding their own way of being, this is important, and this is freedom for them.
To be in a family without
exactly.
parents, but with, for example,
with their friends, with their partners.
Oh, a lot of people choose to be with a partner, or I don't know, try to build a new family in your country. Or it depends from the city, for example. Big city, they don't like to be together, and small cities are much more closer and doing great families.
Actually, a lot of people move to big cities. They try to find their own life in big cities. There is also another way, vice versa. People from big cities, after they have a family and kids, they like to move to the countryside. We have, for example, homeschooling, parents who teach their kids at home. So there is also a way back somehow, but not at the same traditions and rules like in the past. And regarding families, I remember a statistic from 2 years ago, I think 2018. They said that we have more divorces than weddings. 1.4 more divorces than weddings.
No.
It means that people get married. The length of the partnership is not so long like before. In my parents' time, for example, divorce was something taboo. They didn't want to talk about, and they didn't. When you divorce, it was a big problem in society, in your community. In this moment, divorce is like going for shopping. You know, you go with your partner to a lawyer, you sign some papers, and from that moment you are not married anymore, and you can follow your life. Yes, they get married. I'm not quite sure that the marriage is for long-term objective, for example, to have kids, to build a house together, or to, I don't know, to spend our love together. Marriage for some people is because of money, because at the wedding, the guests, they come with some money.
I see. A lot of they can do.
Yeah, and after a wedding, you can buy a flat.
Wow, unbelievable! In a Russian wedding, you can buy a flat, but if you know, I don't know, some famous guests, so why not?
Yeah, it depends who is invited. Yeah, but in big cities, people prefer to stay in partnerships without a legal marriage. Yeah, it's more easy.
Yeah, it's more easy.
Yeah, it's more easy because they don't like to expose themselves in a wedding. They don't understand why it's so important to have a paper. That paper doesn't change anything between us.
If you are in a sign in a marriage, you don't have some benefits from your government?
No.
No?
No, nothing.
I see. Can you characterize primary abilities in your country through secondary abilities? Maybe do you have some specific, I don't know, positions we have in our country?
So let's start with primary capabilities. I think hope is one of the most important primary capability in Romanian. We just said, we have now that problem with coronavirus, and a lot of jokes started to appear on our social media networks. Yeah. And we say that Romanians, when have difficult times, they use humor to stay out of the problem. Yeah. As long as everything is okay, the level of humor is very low, and we don't know to make jokes when it's too good. I would say also that for all generation, belief is also very important. Almost all of us, we are Orthodox, and some of the other citizens are Catholics. And the generation of my parents, they are still very connected with church and their God. Belief is one of the most important primary capability.
I see.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure that time is one of the strong point in our time and in our.
You are not so patient.
No. Actually, in my area where I live in Transylvania, the west side of Romania. Everybody or other Romanian areas, they laugh about us because we are very patient. Yeah, let's say that we are patient and slow, they said. Yeah.
So nice.
So I think these are the primary capabilities most important for us. Hope and belief. Time, not so much. Love and acceptance, I would have doubts if they are. Yeah.
Why?
We are more oriented on secondary capabilities. We still have.
Can you name them?
No, we still have the influence from former time when performance was very important, and it is, really it is. Performance, I would say also thrift is also, a lot of people believe that the image they have is connected with the amount of money they have. And they work a lot to have money, to buy a car, to buy a flat, to spend money in trips abroad. So thrift is also very important. I said also about politeness. Yeah, and I would say that it is still here with us, politeness, and it is still one of the most important ability. And connected with this, the key conflict we have is a passive one, the primary naive one, with a lot of politeness and low openness.
I see.
Yeah, we prefer to save the face of the other person and not to say sincerely what we have to say, because telling sincerely what you have to say will hurt the other person.
Yeah. In our country is the same. We are so polite. Yeah. It's really a high level of politeness in our country. In our method, we are talking about, personal conflicts, inside personal conflicts. Could you name some, I don't know, in your country, do you have some specific conflicts?
Basic conflicts, you mean?
I mean, maybe not basic. I mean, I can name it.
Inner conflict?
Yeah, inner conflict, right. Maybe, can you see some specific in people? Or they are so different and we can...
I would not name, or let me try. I think justice is one part of the inner conflict in a lot of people, connected with contact or connected with love and acceptance. So if I cannot do the right things because the other will not love me anymore, or I cannot...
Not really usually for your country to, I don't know, to love, to show love. So maybe because of it, the problem, no?
No, we kiss each other because we are polite. We kiss, when we meet on the street, we kiss because we are polite, not specifically because we love and accept the other person. We are good in gossips.
A lot of people have problem with love each other and to be connected with each other. So because of it, they came to psychologists, right?
Actually, I think that what brings them to psychotherapy is a problem with connection, and another problem is a problem with performance. For example, a lot of people, they work a lot, and then they have problems with the partner or with the kids, and they don't know how to solve this inner conflict, to bring money, to work and bring money at home, or to stay at home with the kids and take care of the family, especially in women.
But you tell me about inner conflicts with love, and I can...
With love and justice.
Yeah, how it could be.
So if I'm correct in something, then the others will not love me anymore. If I'm not correct, if I'm not just with something, then I lose my own values and I have a problem with myself. That's the inner conflict between justice and love. So neither one way nor one way is okay.
Strange question, but I think it's important too. Can you explain your language? Is it about, I don't know, future or past? How you can characterize it with psychology terms? What do you think about it?
This is a tough question. I was thinking about it. And I never ask myself if the language is more about past or about future.
Maybe do you see some, I don't know, specific other characteristic of the language? I don't know about Romanian nothing. So maybe you just see it and you feel it when you work with people. They can use some, I don't know, special forms when they talk with you, because we are, communicate with the language, and we tell them about our problems, our patterns, our souls with language, with the body language either. So maybe you see some.
Yeah, I would say that is a language oriented very much on ideal, what it should be, how I should be, what I should do or I must do. Is oriented, and in these terms is more oriented on the future. We know very well how things should be, and we have the low abilities to do things the way they should be. You know what I mean?
I think no.
So people fantasize about how the things should be.
Oh, I see.
I should be a better mother. I should be a better employee. I should be a perfect wife, or and they know very well to describe this.
Well, they have problems with themselves, but they try to deal with it in the, how you can name it in English, in the area of thoughts, right?
Yeah, a lot.
I see.
Yeah.
And if we are talking about our rhombics, right?
Yeah.
Could you name which specific areas are preferred than others in your country when you are working with
work and achievement, for
Work.
sure. And second place is the contact.
I see.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people have problems with themselves. I mean, not with the families, not with the group, not with the society, with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. For example, regarding the balance model, the new generation is the one who which put more energy on body. A lot of people started to do gym, to run, to marathons, or to make yoga.
Wow.
To take care of nutrition is a trend in Romania for the new generation to focus more energy on body. And I'm quite sure that this is because they work a lot and they realize that if you don't take care of your body, then you cannot work in one moment anymore. And also people started to put energy in the fourth area, the area of fantasy and spirituality, in terms of trying to find some hobbies like, I don't know, painting, singing, sculpturing, some kind of art. And this is also the new generation who is doing this. And this is a nice way to see how they try to balance the balance model.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How about idealizing other people? Is it, I don't know, specific characteristic of your society or no?
I think it depends. It depends a lot on the level of education. People with low level of education, they idealize people with money.
Oh.
This is the model they have. I don't know, people who made money very quickly and very easy. People with education, I think it depends. I would not say that there is a pattern of idealizing. I think they are able to change the ideals depending on their level of development.
I see. Can you tell me about actual conflict? Do you see some, I don't know, groups of actual conflicts in your culture? What do you think?
Yeah, one of the most important is overloading. Too much work.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. 10, 12, 14 hours of work per day, and weekends at home doing nothing. This is, I think, one of the most important actual conflict we have. Another actual conflict is at the level of relations. As I told you, we break very easy relationships, and we suffer a lot when someone broke the relation. And the ability to repair a relationship is very low in this moment. You know, we live in this consumeristic society. You know what it means? When you have a thing at home and it's broken, you throw it away and you go and buy another one.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, this is consumerism.
You don't try to repair
to fix it. Exactly. So this happened also with the relationships. If something doesn't work, doesn't matter how little it is, we broke the relationship and go and try to find another one. We are not focused so much on fix it, on repair it. And also another actual conflict is connected with the future, and not the future, but the way we think about our future. You know, we are not teach to find our resources and to young generation, for example, is very oriented on living here and now.
I see.
And there are difficulties when they finish high school. They don't know in which university to go. Then they finish university, they don't know what kind of work they like. So these moments when you have to overpass an important moment in your life is not very well prepared. We work as a society a lot for this and try to prepare the young generation for the future. They are still lost somehow, and they don't know what they want on long term. They have a kind of ideal image that they finish university and they work in a place where they earn a lot of money, and immediately they are able to have everything.
I think it's a global problem.
Yeah, it's a global problem with this.
Think about our death, so we think we can live forever.
Exactly, and we don't think about our future.